Okay, so why is law school so hard? Disclaimer, if you didn't watch my previous videos from last year, watch them, because I tell you about, I go into depth, I think a little bit about, I am a full-time employee at the school that I go to school at, and there are benefits to that, because if your school or your job has tuition benefits, then it's great because you don't get the big student loans that everybody else gets. I am a part-time law student, so that means I take 3 classes, fall and spring semesters. Now I'm gonna break it down to you how I have gathered my graduation plan, but that's gonna be on the next video, and I'll be able to explain my classes and how they're gonna go. So again, the previous videos explain, you know, full-time, part-time deal, because that's the route that I chose to take. Typically for a full-time law student, it takes them 3 years to graduate. For me, I am going part-time. Some part-time students that don't go any summers, it takes them 5 years. Some that do go summers, but they don't do as many credits as I'm going to do, which is not going to be that hard. I'll explain that to you, and I'm walking you through this, so you should have it all down by the time we finish with these videos. So they usually finish, if they don't take that many credit hours during the semester, 4 years. 4 years is a decent amount of time for part-timers. For me, I am going to finish in 3 years and a semester if nothing happens. Now I will tell you that over the summer is almost out of here now, which I'm a little fearful of. I just ordered my books today. I'll tell you that in another video. Over the summer, I did get engaged and had a birthday, so I got engaged on my birthday, and you know, other things happened, which is why this video is so super duper late. Anyway, the first semester, so I figured out what worked for me. If you were watching my old videos, you saw all these spectacular outlines, these like graphic designs and all this extra stuff I did. No, that's not needed. That took so much time. That took a lot of time. It took a lot of my time. It took a lot of my weekend. I would spend literally 8 to 10 hours on the weekend doing outlines, rereading, different things like that, and extra stuff. And I have gotten to the bare minimum. Now, let me let you in before you continue to listen to me, because personally, when I want to listen to somebody or when I want to take somebody's advice, my first question is, what kind of grades did you get? Because if you got C's, that's okay, I don't need to know. Nothing against C's, but that's not what I want to get. Now I'm letting you know, I am not a straight A person. I have not even gotten an A in law school. And I know for some of you smarties that are like, oh, I got plenty of A's in undergrad, and I went to grad school and I got plenty of A's there. This is a different ball game, so you might not get A's too. Anyway, I am satisfied with the B's. So that is what I got. So if you don't want to listen to me from this point on, I completely understand. But I am here to kind of walk you through my experience, because I know that I wanted somebody to tell me as much as possible when they were going through law school. And I am also here to give you a little bit of pointers and some shortcutters, because I pretty much go through life asking myself one question: how do I make this easier? So let's start with what I figured out that works for me. Like I said, I spent hours doing outlines. Outlines are very, very important in law school. They are the sum of what you learned for that class. Get into law school, the first thing that you want to do is, number one, I made a couple of friends that were in my section, in my classes, because you can make friends outside. I have friends outside, like older friends, other full-time friends, but they're not in my exact classes with my exact professors. So if they have a different section from you or something like that, then sometimes that may not be as helpful, because you would prefer a professor or someone to study with or something like that. So number one, make friends. So number two, you would need to get into some organizations, because organizations, I am in the Women Law Student Association. That's just one to name. Black Law Students Association, you know, a few of those. And they have some good outline banks. Like they, what I mean by outline banks is they have a bank where it says like con law, constitution law, civil procedure, or whatever class you're taking, you click on it, and then there's a list of outlines that past students have uploaded for you to use at your discretion. So it's very, very helpful to help you study. And if you're one of those people that, like me, I get caught up in what's going on in the class and what we're talking about, and I will find myself sitting there like, yeah, you know, talking about the class, and I'm supposed to be typing my outline. So it helps me to stay along with what we're talking about. It helps me on those days that I did not read to already know or be able to at least read off my outline. Because if you're reading off your computer, they don't know that you didn't read. They just think that, you know, you did that before and you were prepared for whatever questions they had over the case brief. So those two things will help you getting some outlines and getting to know, getting more comfortable in class and things like that. All semester long, I used my laptop and other tools like examples and explanations, extra stuff sometimes that I didn't need. Like a lot of the times the professors, unless you're at Harvard and they're trying to trip you up or something like that, the professors are trying to help. They really want to help you without giving you the answers. So they're telling you exactly what you need to know, exactly how you need to know it, and exactly how you need to say it. Now, if some professors that you have do hypos, and hypos are hypotheticals, and they say, for example, Kelly bought product A, but David reneged on the contract and he took product A back, blah, blah, blah. That's a hypothetical that they're giving you, and the way that you answer it, just answer it, put, you know, what the issue is and stuff like that. But listen to how they describe the issue and what's going on. When they give you the answer, listen to that, because that's exactly how they want you to write it. That's how they want you to explain it. And I always follow the IRAC, not the IRAC all the time rule. So the IRAC rule, when you're explaining and you're answering a question on your exam, you're going to do the issue. So if it's a embezzlement or whatever, the rule for embezzlement is blah, blah, blah. And then, which is like stealing from someone who is unknown and you're working for a corporation, that kind of stuff. What's the rule for it? And then you're going to do, that's IR, and then you're going to do A, which is the application. That's applying it to the facts that they gave you. So Kelly and David, blah, blah, blah. You're going to keep going with that. And then C is to conclude. So in conclusion, a court would likely find blah, blah, blah as an embezzler or acting in embezzlement or whatever. So you're going to want to follow that just to make sure you thoroughly explain everything. You need to be able to explain like you're talking to somebody that you don't know, because a lot of the times I feel like people get so caught up in trying to say the right legal words that you forget that when you are a lawyer, a lot of your work, depending on if you're doing trial work, you will be talking to a jury, which is lay people, which is people who did not go to law school. They don't want to hear all that fancy stuff. They want to hear you break it down as simple as possible and explain to them what you want them to know and what's going on here. This is what happened. How do I know this is what happened? Because this and this had to happen for this to happen. And he did this, this, and this. That's why this is what happened, basically. So that's my little method of how answering everything. And I would tell you that I did not do that well on one of my torts exams as well as I wanted to because of that, because I was very brief in the answer. So I learned that very quickly. So I'm not telling you that because I wrote so well. I'm telling you that because I learned from experience that next time I need to write a little better. Anyway, so that's outlines, getting to know people, getting in organizations. That's going to be some things that'll help you get outlines. I feel like outlines were the biggest part of me knowing what I need to know, me studying. Because at the end of the semester, they give you a week to, I guess, get your outlines together and study. But here's the thing, if you were doing your outline correctly and, you know, legibly and with the right information, if you were doing your outline and all your stuff you needed all through the semester, you don't need that week to do your outline in a fashionable way or to straighten it out and make sense of it. You just need that week to actually study. So while everybody's crammed studying and getting their outline, which can be 40 to 90 pages worth of notes they just typed while the teacher talked, while everybody else is doing that, you're just simply studying for your exam and you're ready to go. And the best exams are the ones that let you bring the outline front to back in, because that's one thing you do want to work on. That's one thing that you're going to use that time for, besides studying. Now that I didn't create while I was going through school. I didn't have that already done. That I actually did during that time that they gave us, because you never know if the professor, usually they tell you early enough, but you never know if the professor is going to say you can use this information, you can't use an outline, you have to do it all from memory, whatever. Okay. That's how I studied, what I learned my first semester. One thing that I will tell you is LRW, which is legal research and writing, was a beast. It was, I think, back to the original question, why is law school so hard? So I personally am not a good person for this, because I am one of the only people, because all the people that I asked made it seem like, oh, it's going to be so much work and you're not going to be having a social life and this and this and that. But one of the things that I found out, besides trying to make it easier for myself, I just figured out, what does the professor want? And if I needed to go talk to that professor and straight up ask them, I'm not understanding what exactly you want me to get from this, I did that within like the second and third week of school. What does the professor want? How do I need to align my outline to what the class is what I need to get out of the class? And then also, making those simpler will make your life simpler. But the main reason I think people say, why is law school so hard? The first year is your hardest year. Everybody I've talked to says that. And my first year was not that bad, so we'll see. What did suck is legal research and writing, because you got these two classes over here that you're trying to study for and get, you know, the law down, but then you got legal research and writing and they're asking for a paper, 3 different papers during the semester, and it is difficult because you're learning how to write like a lawyer. And I don't care what anybody says, this pre-law business, this I'm an English major, all this other stuff, nothing prepares you for law school but law school. I did not do pre-law, I did not major in English, none of that jazz, and I got through my first year. That's all I'm saying. I'm not knocking anybody else, but legal research and writing prepares you to write like a lawyer, and it's a totally different way, and you'll learn new concepts and have to throw those in there, and you'll feel like you got a grasp on it, and then they'll give you one more concept you have to throw in there and then present a paper out of it, and it's like, ugh. On top of all of this, you are learning how to research through LexisNexis and Westlaw, which drove me nuts. And let me just tell you, you only get that first year. I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm not very confident in myself. Yes, I did get B's, but I am not very confident in my work. I need a little bit more on it, but that's another issue. Okay, one thing, I'm going to wrap this up because it's getting a little long, and I'll go into my next video talking about the second semester. One thing that I will say about law school at the end of the day, LRW sucked, but I got through it. I had a lot of, like, a couple friends that I could really call and, like, just, this is driving me nuts about. Now, in law school, you can't talk about, like, what research did you find? What cases did you find? But your professors are more than willing to help you. So that was a little bit calming. And I didn't do that bad. Again, if you heard something that I said today and you want me to go into detail about it, just put it in the comments or something like that, and I will do my very best to do so, and go into more details on my first semester, or specifically something that you heard me say and you want me to go into detail on. after it was all said and done, I enjoyed my Christmas break. I had to completely forget that I was in law school, because you have to enjoy yourself. You can't be thinking, ooh, I wonder what are my scores? And no, life is too short. So do the best that you can do, and when you do your best, there is nothing on earth that could make you feel bad about it. And like I said, I got B's, so I did my best. I tried not to worry about it, think about it anymore. And when you get your grades, it'll show this is what you put in and this is what you get out. I used my breaks. I did not try to prep for next semester. I didn't try to see what I could do better for the previous semester. I excessively went to play bingo with the older crowd, which a lot of my friends make fun of me because I am very young. But think about it this way. You could be at the mall, you could be at the movies, you could be doing all this other stuff, parasailing, I don't care. But those things cost money. I like playing bingo, and that is a possible winning of money. So if I'm going to do something fun, I go to the mall still, yeah, but I'm just saying that some days I went to bingo a lot, and it was really fun. It was my release. Enjoy your break. Enjoy having nothing to do if you're a full-time student, or if you're a part-time student and you're working. Enjoy just being at work and not having to balance both of those. Find a way to get away for those 4 weeks or 5 weeks, whatever you get for Christmas break, because it's go time for the next semester. Okay, so next video will be about my second semester. Hopefully, I think I covered the gist of the first semester. It will be more detailed for my second year because I won't have such a big gap when I produce videos. But I got a lot of you telling me, like, when are you gonna do an update? Are you gonna update your videos? Which I appreciate that, because it made me feel kind of bad, because I was like, crap, I do need to get on that. So I finally got it to where it kind of can get a lot, and you know, a lot of technical stuff going on to do these videos. So hopefully I covered everything that I needed to cover that could help you. If you have any questions, again, put it in the comments, or I think you can inbox me, I'm not sure. If you need me to detail anything, put it in the comments, and I will try to add as much as possible to another video. So the next video that you see will be my second semester experience, which besides the summer classes, I just came off of that, so I should be a little bit fresher on the details, okay?